This is King Bo Christ, and you're now tuned in to the I Say That to Say This show. Episode 11 of the I Say That to Say This podcast, where I got my man Greg Jackson in here. Oh, you could. This is Greg. What is it? Things Greg sees.
Yeah, that's me.
Mike, give him a check-in.
What's up? You got your boy Mike, a.k.a. Primo. We in here.
Reporting live from the BX.
Reporting live from the BX.
We made it in 96 degrees in traffic.
Thank you for having us.
Windows down. Anytime, man.
I think we can call this the Sounds and Vibes episode.
The Sounds and Vibes episode. Well, there's the title right there. So that's something I don't have to do an hour, an hour from now.
Okay.
Think about the title.
Yeah.
But I wanted to...
See, I'm curating this. I'm setting this up.
Yeah, no doubt. What do you think? I bumped into Greg on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I saw your blog.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna set it up the right way. I don't want to jump around because I do that. My ADD is crazy.
I appreciate you.
My ADD level was high too.
It's crazy, but I saw your vibe and I was like, God damn, I got to get him on the show. So I sent you a message.
Yeah, I remember that.
He sent me his number.
Yeah.
And here we are, just like that. No time wasted.
Nah, I'm real direct. I'm like, yo, we want to talk. Let's talk. Like,
definitely.
You know what I mean? Let's not. I'm not a virtual guy. Like, hold on, can we curse? Can we?
Yeah, you can say whatever grab him by the pussy. We can say whatever. This is it.
Yeah. Nah,
the airwaves are open.
No disrespect to my black people, but
no FCC involved.
I'm not a virtual nigga, so it's like
say whatever you want.
I'm really hands on, so it's like if you want to talk to me, it's just reach out and talk. Like I used to be that. I'm really easy to find.
I used to be that way. Like, you got to call me now. I don't know. I'm transforming, man. Like, now I'm like, send me a DM. I don't know how else you're going to. I don't even give people my number anymore. You're like, you got my gram, bro. Just DM me.
I got over like 8,500 contacts. So it's like, I can't even.
God damn.
Yeah.
In your phone?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's out of this world. I don't even have that many emails.
I think I got 2,500 unread emails.
I'm trying to tell you. I just delete all.
Yeah.
But
that's not, the frequent people I talk to. Like, I might only talk to like 50 on a regular. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like, if I go to an event, I'm bumping into this person. If I go out of state, I'm bumping into that person. So, I just, I really believe in this networking thing.
Definitely.
That 5 degrees of separation, how you know this person by that person by that person. I really live by that.
I think with the internet now, it's down to like 3. Like, now you'd be surprised
I believe that.
Who knows who. And
I definitely believe that.
I be seeing these dudes following chicks that I know. I'm like, nigga, you don't know her.
Yo,
like, you just,
can I do a disclaimer? Yo, for everybody that
social media creeping.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm like, hold on, man. How you know her? I
just want to do a quick disclaimer, man. For everybody that be stealing my posts, for everybody that be following the people that I follow, I see y'all, man. Like, yo, I'm really like, is that one saying that Drake says? I'm really on the internet more than you think.
So you see it.
So I see it. Like, the things Greg sees wasn't a fluke.
Oh, okay.
I do see.
So you let him know.
Yeah, come on. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all corny, man.
It happens, though, because I'm not, that's not what I do. Like, I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
I got my followers, obviously. I follow everyone back because I don't care about the numbers. I don't want you to leave me.
Right.
But I see it and I'm like, that shit's kind of weird, but if that's what you do your thing.
See, I can't follow everyone because I don't know if I got ADD or anything like that. I just can't follow anybody that's not interesting. Like, everybody to me is not interesting. I do follow a certain number of people because I feel like whether they're a homemaker, whether they just go to work every day, whether they skydive, whatever.
Got you.
I got to follow different interesting people. And I'm like, man, you know what? That's you. As opposed to like you trying to be something, or you posting memes or something. Like, people that post memes.
The memes. Yeah, no, the meme
people. You're not getting followed. I'm sorry. Don't
you get unfollowed. For that.
I usually
do that.
What I get from that is that they're just bored and they have a lot of time in their hands.
Yeah, I don't want to follow you.
I don't mind posting certain things that I might find funny right then and there. But
right.
The constant memes. It's just like, okay.
I think people just want those notifications.
Okay.
I think people, like that. There's just memes all day. They just want their phone to be lighting up with likes. Cause some shit, I'm like, what are you?
What's the point of it?
I'm
right?
tired of seeing your name on my feed. You know what I mean?
Right.
But enough about them. Greg, how did you get into to blogging?
Oh man, that's
The loaded question.
long story long story long. Basically, you know, like I was telling you before off air, I was somebody that was always into music. Even when I was a kid or teenager, I loved the radio. I loved like 80s music. I loved what my mom was into. She's Panamanian, so you know, whether it was like the merengue, salsa, whatever, I was into that. My dad was cool in the game, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So they would have these records, but they would have these tapes that they would make of all these songs. And I would steal their tapes. And, you know, this back when I was like fourth, fifth grade or whatever, and I'm bringing these tapes to school and I'm listening to my Walkman. And, you know, fourth grader with a Walkman, that usually doesn't happen because they take it away or something like that. But I'm listening to the Walkman and stuff, and I'm like, it was a thing my dad used to say is like, close your eyes and tell me how many instruments is being played. You know what I mean? And I used to be like drums, bass, you know, hi-hat, all that stuff. And yeah, and he was like, nah, there was 9. You only get 7. Do it again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or listen to this song. So it was like little tricks like that would get my ear up. You know what I mean? So it made me appreciate the music more. And I'm not even going to the lyrics. So it's like, you know, once you hear certain lyrics and certain songs, it gives you a certain mood. And, you know, so that's really how it started.
That develops a real ear for music.
Yeah.
Because I never even would have thought about it. They say Prince learned how to play instruments just from sound. Like he never had any training. He picked them up and he knew the sounds. He couldn't tell you the notes or anything.
Right.
So that develops a real...
Yeah.
So you really don't fuck with the mumble rap then?
Nah, I do.
You do?
I do. Because, you know, like I said, being in a household where, you know, it was 5 of us. So it was my mom, my dad, my brother, my older brother, my younger sister, and myself. We all collectively listened to different music. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he's 12 years old, 11 years older than me, sorry. But... you know, during the 80s, you know, he was in that 80s rock, and he also listened to hip hop, and he also listened to soft rock. So a lot of tapes, he had his own collection, as opposed to my mom having her own record collection, as opposed to my dad having his own record collection. Right. So I'm listening to all of this stuff. I'm soaking it in because this is the household I'm growing up in. Plus, at that point, radio was like God. So it was like you turn on the radio and you listen to a hit, and it just make you feel this, you know, this is when albums wasn't even like really the focus point. But, you know, I want to say albums was really the focus point during the 90s where we had so many albums, especially like 96, where we had so many classic albums developed in one year, you know. And at that point, I was in middle school. So I picked up a lot of these albums, whether it was the Fugees, Nas, Busta Rhymes, you know, Tupac, Biggie, you know, Raekwon, Purple Tape, like, you know what I'm saying? So It was like, you know, a lot of this stuff, like, I just ended up being in a good era where all this good music was being derived from. So, you know, I'm really a product of that era. And, you know, fast forwarding it a little bit, you know, still being into music and whatnot. I met a lot of artists and I met a lot of people behind the scenes that not even noticed me for trying to be an artist, but just tried to notice me because I had that passion for it. And it was like, yo, you're not a normal person. Like, normal people just don't notice this stuff unless you're into music. And it was so what do you do? And I'm like, no, I don't do anything. I love music. And, you know, ultimately, a college friend of mine, he goes by Nemo. But
shout out to Nemo.
Or I Make Mad Beats. That's his producer name. You know, I'm sorry, I gotta give him a phrase or whatnot. But we went to college with him.
That's the homie right there. Yeah.
Where'd you go to college?
We went to SUNY Old Westbury.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So, you know, we went there, and he was actually when I was in my dorm, he was in the next dorm over. So he would play music, but I would play music too. And he was just like, man, like I had this clock radio because at this point, this was my first transition to New York City. I'm from upstate. I'm from Rochester, New York. So, to me, you hear about Hot 97 and Power 105, but to experience it, I would have this clock radio on 24/7. I would not turn it off. But things about clock radio is like, it's staticky, is real fuzzy, is you don't get the best sound, is mono, you know what I'm saying? So he would bang on the door, you be like, yo, man, turn that clock radio off. And I'm just like, nah, man, I'm just trying to listen to Hot 97. He was like, yo, man, I can give you the live stream from it, and things like that. So it was just like, I learned a lot from him as far as technique, different artists, so I got to give him a shout out, definitely. And, so it just grew on from there.
Got you.
Another person I got to give a shout out to is my man Kurt Hustleman. We met each other off of Nemo, but at the same time, it was like, I'll be honest, my first impression, I hated this guy because he always pop in and he would always wanted to know what was going on. Like, hey, what's going on? This, that, and the third. And I'm just like, yo, like, who is this guy? Like, at this point, I was still kind of like really tough and not really open to meeting people. So it was like, if I mess with you, I mess with you. If I didn't know you, I was kind of like really protective. So it took getting used to, but then we ended up being roommates at one semester, and then like our friendship kind of grew. And I'm happy to say, like, along with Mike, he's just like one of my brothers, man. So you guys
still do work together now?
I want to say that we definitely like keep each other in mind when it comes to opinions and things like that. We keep each other posted. Like he's doing other ventures right now. And likewise as far as me, like, we get to a point where we all grow, and it doesn't mean that we grow apart, but it's just that we grow.
Yeah, sometimes you're in your own lane.
Right. So, I keep it like that, but he definitely deserves a shout out because like I said, it's the people around you that kind of make you stronger in who you are. He's one of the reasons, I graduated from Old Westbury and ended up moving back to Rochester, doing the 9-to-5 thing. And, a lot of things happened during that time, but he's one of the reasons why I actually ended up moving back to New York fully. And that took about like 3 years. I moved back to Rochester in 2009. I came back to New York fully at, it was Easter at the time, April 8th. 2012, so I'm like 5 years in right now.
That was real specific,
Yeah, because it's crazy because like I remember it like yesterday, and I remember at the time like when I had my vacations, I would just come back and forth here, and I would just think about the times. My fault. I'm just getting a note right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, cool. So, I would take vacations here. He was just constantly remind me that, you need to be here. Like, I need you here, that type of thing. And I'm just like, man, at this point, like, moving by yourself, it's a big step when you move where somewhere where you're comfortable at to one thing I say about New Yorkers, and I'm a New Yorker now, so I feel like a part of the family. Like, we're really prideful. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're from Long Island, whether you're from Bronx, whether you're from Queens, whether you're from Manhattan, we're really prideful. Like, we really rep where we're from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about anything else. You got to know where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And until I started meeting with certain people, when I got down here, when I fully moved down here, see, I'm from upstate, so we travel. So it's like, you might be from this hood, but you're going to this hood, like no matter where you're from. But I was meeting people in New York who never left their hood. So I'm like, yo, so it's like, yo, I'm going here or whatever. It's like, where you going? And I'm like, yo, I'm going to Manhattan for a little bit. It's a little pizza spot that I like to go to. It's like, Manhattan? But I'm from Queens.
Yeah. It's crazy because I dap people in my hood or whatever, and you know, a lot of these cats, like you said, 6 Block Baby. Sometimes maybe they'll go from their block and they'll probably go to the local, shopping area for them or whatever, or maybe they'll head downtown and things like that. But other than that, they probably haven't been on a flight. They don't know what it's like to, like you said, get out their core surroundings. So, I do kind of, it's true what he says. Us New Yorkers, when it comes to the pride thing, it's like, yo, I'm from the BX. But I'm from Brooklyn, so what's up? It's one of those type of things. But that's what kind of gives New York its
mojo.
There you go.
Definitely. I think a lot of things with traveling also is the subways and how everything, like you just said, it's a pizza. It may be a pizza place you like down the block, or it could be one subway train right away, but not that many people go and get a license. I mean, in Long Island, everybody has to have a license. You can't maneuver.
Oh, man, I didn't even get to that.
Yeah.
People, all right, so it's definitely a difference. One, women, definitely a difference between upstate women and downstate women. Two, the upbringing.
Hold on, we can't just jump over. What's the deal with the women? Yeah, fuck the license.
Number one is definitely women. Women down here are aggressive. Women down here live to their, and I might be doing a couple stereotypes or whatever.
That's what we do here. I say that to say this. We stereotype and we judge shit.
I was about to say, y'all can kill me later off this.
They gonna question you, Greg. What you trying to say, Greg? Speak up.
What I mean? Y'all live at home till y'all like 28. Upstate women, they leave the house when they're 17, 18 years old. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Full-time job. They're driving by this time. Y'all don't drive till y'all like 27 or get a license or whatnot. I was driving illegally at 14. So, like...
Let me tell you, I stole my dad's car at 14. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this shit's going to have to go around the block.
I got in trouble, but I definitely know how to parallel park and all that, But
I think it's because the rent is so damn high.
But, the good thing is y'all thick down here. Back up top, they got the belly. So it's like, what I'm saying?
Now you're taking slander from both sides.
I mean, I got my day. Well,
Greg, you ready for this one?
Nah, they know I ain't got no filter, so they gonna get me. But these are things I had to learn.
Okay,
so as far as culture, there's so much culture down here. It's like you really take a part of like who's Puerto Rican, who's Dominican, who's West Indian. I'm Panamanian, but when I was upstate, they was like, "Oh, he's Puerto Rican," because they didn't know where Panama was at.
Oh, gotcha.
I go down here, and there's a whole hood of Panamanians in Brooklyn.
Right.
And,
so don't go anywhere. They just stay.
Yeah, they stay right there. And I went to Kelso's. Shout out to Kelso's. It's a good restaurant, Panamanian restaurant. You know what I mean? But y'all ain't give me no plug. But hey, it's okay. You learn things like that. You learn things like what's a good spot to eat, or what's a good spot to party and things like that. So even going, like I said, moving down here, it only seemed right where music was my focus that it turned into blogging, because I would go to these events that a lot of people put me onto. It was like, hey, come here, come there, after work parties or whatnot, and I would go there and I would see people that I idolize on the internet. And was like, man, this person has a blog out, or this person is just big on the internet or whatever, has this following. And I would meet these people and, forgive me, but they were pricks. You know what I mean? They were assholes up front. They were like really ego and really had like privilege. Like they treated me like I was a fan and I wanted their autograph, when I was just really trying to give them a shout out. Like, yo, I appreciate what you do for the culture. So when they would do that to me, I'm like, man, but I know more than music than you, and you're posting about music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I know this. Like it was like you didn't even have to go, but I appreciate you posting these things, because at that point, my newspaper was YouTube and a couple sites. Like I would wake up every morning, I would go on YouTube, and I would go on these couple sites every day. And it was just.
Were you blogging at this time, or just?
No, I wasn't blogging at this time, but like I said, one of the people that I met from the site, I met him face to face, and it was just like I had a horrible experience. And knowing that, it was just like, man, I could do this. Because I know I had more knowledge than him. And he had a hip-hop blog. And it was just like, all right, well, if I'm going to do this.
I want to know who it is, right?
Nah,
because I'm curious now.
Because I still got a.
Well, after the show, because
I still really have a kind of like a relationship with him, but I mean, I'm not gonna say like a fluent relationship, but I can hit him up and that type of thing. But at this point, like it kind of suited me up because it was like like I said, the first person I told was Kurt, and I was like, man, I could do exactly what they do, and he was like, well, do it. And he's one of the type of people like similar to my household, was raised on tough love. My dad was in the Army. He met my mom when he was stationed in Panama. And, so it was a real Army guy. My older brother went to the Army. You know what I'm saying? So when it came down to me, it was like, you going to the Army? I'm like, hell nah, I'm not doing that. But again, like, so when, Kurt, I'm not going getting off tangent. I'm coming right back. So it's all full circle.
I say that to say this. We get it. Trust me.
All right. So
we spoke about that ADD.
Right. Yeah, word up.
So, so when he was like, kind of like, do it, I'm just like, damn, well, I don't know one thing about blogging. Like I could write an email, but I don't know anything about computers. So it was like, my favorite time in the morning is from 3 to 5. And at this point, I had a day job. So it was like I would stay up from 3 to 5. At that point, that was still Twitter After Dark and all this other stuff. So
the good old days.
Yeah, good old days. So I had Twitter. So I was constantly on there. But, you had YouTube and you had Wikipedia and Google. So it was like between that, I kind of taught myself how to be a blogger, you know. Right. And one of the first sites that I used was Tumblr. I had a Tumblr site. At this point, I was thinking of a name. I had the name because I was doing photos. And I was doing editing. That was from like a previous venture I was doing before, and I kind of taught myself at school before I moved back to New York. And so I wanted to put out a photography book called Things I See. And it was,
remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you.
And it was to the point where I was taking different portrait shots and things around New York City or whatever, and in my travels. And I had a bunch of dope photos. To my knowledge, it's still on the laptop.
I was just about to ask you still got that?
Yeah.
The archives?
No, you're still on Tumblr at this time.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm on Tumblr, and I was thinking of a name. So at this point, it's like something Tumblr.com. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just like, nah, I need a dope name, man. But to backtrack a little bit, so the thing with the photos and things like that, now I had a distributor, I have somebody that wanted to represent me, but she was just like, I don't like the name, like Things I See is so generic, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, that's a dope name. Like, you asking the artist, how you want to ask the artist to not create what I'm creating? You got to do the business. So eventually it didn't work out, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, man, I need a name. And at this point, I'm only putting a couple posts here and there or whatever. But I'm like, nah, if I want to start blogging, I got to really take it serious and get into a rhythm, a pattern. Because one thing about me, I'll start something, I have a great idea, but I don't follow through. And at that point, I was like, yo, I got to start following through with what I want to do. I had a bunch of ventures that I did before, whether it was clothing, whether it was, business, whether it was being a drug dealer at one point. At one point, I tried to be a drug dealer, but I was the worst drug dealer ever. One thing I tell
going
drug
about
dealers,
uptowns and re-up.
if you're not good at math, don't be a drug dealer. Period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, yo, like, you know what I mean? I need some more. It's like, all right, cool, give me the money. It's like, yo, you're short. How? How am I short?
But I did everything right.
Yeah. How? I did everything but gunbutt the nigga, but you know what I'm saying? So, going with this, it was like, I definitely wanted to make sure I followed through. And all of a sudden it just came in my head. I'm like, fuck, man. Things Greg sees.
Boom, and the fucking light bulb.
That was the name. That was the name.
Andrew,
right there.
we might have to drop a flex bomb on that part.
So at this point, a lot of people didn't know what the fuck was going on. They couldn't pronounce the name because, obviously it keeps it all together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate when y'all separate this, by the way. Don't separate things Greg sees. I don't like that.
What do you mean separate? How do they separate it?
Huh? Like when they put things, space, Greg, space, sees.
You know what's funny? I used to run with a hashtag, right? And it came through Skull, Son of Harlem. Shout out to Son of Harlem. Boy Skull. And it was Vibe With Me, right? And it was a hashtag Vibe With Me, VIBEWIT, whatever, MEWI, whatever, and WIT. And then people be like, yo, Vibe Time. And it was just one of those, what the fuck you mean?
Fuck up your whole hashtag.
Yo, it's Vibe With Me. Like, you get what I'm saying? And
I knew it.
But it's just like, what are you reading? Because I know what I'm hashtagging.
And mind you, so like, even with that, I'll get into that. So it was like things Greg sees. So like, at this point, Instagram is still catching on. This is before Facebook bought it. So it was like, at that point, people always did hashtags.
Oh yeah, true.
They used to do a lot of hashtags just to get.
I remember Fab used to go hashtag crazy. Yeah, I used to love reading them. Yeah.
Just to go on this when they had the popular page. So it was like you get a certain amount of hashtags, you get on the popular page or whatever. So I'm like, damn, like even with his, I knew what his said. I'm with the culture, so I was like,
you got common sense. Bro.
Yeah, right. So it's like, but things used to be like people used to be like. Things would be like, I'm like, what the hell? What? So it was like, things great, like, spell it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a good friend of mine, his sister was like, yeah, I love your hashtag. I'm like, yo, what did you just say? I'm like, yo, things
tell
great.
Tell me about that drop. What was it? Was it when we was at GD? Or what event was it? And you was like, yo, shout out the blog, but that was the liquor though. It wasn't I don't know if you remember.
Oh no, you talking about Henny Palooza.
There you go.
All right, I'll get into that. So like I said, man, just creating a hashtag, like that was like one of the best things for me because that grew the brand even more as opposed to like even just posting on what people saw and what people didn't know, like certain events. Things like that. Like, it just grew and grew and grew.
How many Instagram posts you have now? Like 11,000?
Yeah,
some crazy shit. When you first see it, like normal people with 11,000 posts are usually fucking annoying. Like, I see yours and I'm like, oh shit, that picture is crazy. Like, I'm like, damn, where does he find this? You know what I'm saying? So it's not.
I go back.
I go back. What was this like 6 years? Right, leading up to, because me and Greg had plenty of conversations. A lot of conversations. I'm talking about just random, yo, it was good, and he's at work, I'm at work overnight, and we like, yo. But what I was trying to get to is like, yo, I told him, I said, like, you know how certain people got an ear for sound and music, and like, I could see it. I'm like, yo, dude, the content is there, bro. Like, versus big name blogs that that got popularity, and you're looking and you're like, you don't want to compare it, but you're putting it side to side, and it's like, yo, the content is legit. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, it's going back to now what you just said. It's just like, all right, 11,000 posts. Oh man, this person's on their shit 24/7, putting up nonsense. But when you go on his page, you see it, you're like, okay. And then you scrolling through it, and you're like, all right. Let me now I'm tapping through the post, and you want to see what's up. So,
and it's not overwhelming. Like you look,
right? Like
we were talking about with the meme. Like I'm like, all right, how many fucking memes? But I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And I look up and it's you. And I see another ill picture. I'm like, damn, that shit is crazy. Look up and it's you again, and I'm like, yo, wait, this shit is incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the funny thing because like, I see it too, and I'm like, damn, like. I wish I could erase like 2,000 of those pictures.
Nah, you'd be surprised with somebody's favorite
like,
though.
The first, like when I first started Instagram, it was personal. So it was a lot of things. It was like, man, I wish I could take that out, or selfies or things like that. But then when I actually, because like Instagram, I grew with Instagram as Instagram grew with me. So it was like, even before I had the hashtag, I was just posting because that's what you did with Instagram.
Right.
But it's like, man, they don't have a feature where you can literally go back in time and just delete
like
certain
Facebook,
years. Yeah,
when
you gotta scroll
on this day, right?
You gotta scroll all the way down. Like this is I have 11,000 pictures. I'm not gonna do all that.
Now you gotta which things Greg sees at things Greg sees, because now people are probably listening like, what the fuck's his Instagram?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Everything is at things Greg sees. So it's like THINGS GEREGSEES.
Also, or whatever the fuck y'all gonna fuck up.
So
however y'all gonna
so it's things Greg sees at Instagram, Twitter. The Snap is a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure if you can, if you find me on Instagram and Twitter, we can talk about it. We'll get you.
No doubt.
Get you in tune with everything.
Back to,
and then I have the Facebook page. That's things Greg sees. But I'm gonna go into his story as far as like how he set me up with Ebro.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And fucked me up with that because I hated him for that night, but it all turned out to this. So basically, shouts to all the guys at Henny Palooza, especially Cam. This was my first one a couple years ago. It was Memorial's Day. I went there and like me, him, a couple of crew members was there, and so it's my first one. I drink Henny, so
I don't drink Henny for the record.
So I'm thinking that
I need it clear. I need to see through my liquor.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So at this point, it was the old time, so it was from 3 to 10, and I'm thinking, I'm good. So, I remember it was a guy passed out. They was like, man, he needs medical attention. I'm like, man, he a lightweight. He can't do it. So I remember I was good. I had a good breakfast, the whole 9 yards. And what happens was when you drink Hennessy, you need to keep something in the stomach to keep soaking it up.
And it was hot that day.
It was hot that day. 2, they had food trucks, and it was none of the food that I liked. I was like, man, do they have an appetizer? It was like French fries. I'm like, man, I'm not buying $5 French fries. And we're gonna get into that too. But I'm not buying $5 French fries, and that's the only thing I'm gonna eat. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna keep drinking this Henny, but I'm gonna make sure I mix it this time. So I'm drinking. And I ended up linking with him. I want to say it's about 6:30 at this point. Somehow we get backstage. You know what I'm saying? We get backstage.
Linking with Mike.
Yeah, I'm with Mike at this time. I'm sorry. I'm with Mike, and we get backstage, and Mike sees Ebro from Hot 97, and he's like, "Yo, man, that's Ebro right there. You gotta talk to him. You gotta tell him about things Greg sees." And I'm like, I'm tipsy, so I'm like, man, all right, whatever. Nah, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm drunk at this point. I'm really drunk at this point. So I'm like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm drunk. I was trying to sugarcoat it, but I'm like, I say that to say this.
Right, yeah. No stories are long stories.
Who isn't drunk? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At that time, that shit.
So
I'm drinking
all day.
Yeah, so I'm drunk at this point. So next thing I know, this is how a drunk person, like, time goes fast, but it moves slow at certain points. So I remember, like, I don't know how he got Ebro next to him, but he's like, yo, Ebro, this is Greg right here. I want you to meet Greg, man. He's blogger, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. He's like, yeah, what up, fam? I'm like, yeah, what's up?
So I'm like, yo.
He's like, yo, fam, you all right? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm chilling. How you? He's like, I'm good, fam. He's like, yo, stay safe. And he walks off.
Damn.
And the whole time I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, yo, say the right thing. Fuck, that's what I said? Like, this is going on in my head, but I'm knowing I'm messed up. So it's like, there's no going back from that. You know what I'm saying? You can only...
One shot.
Right. So, I say that to say this. So the next day, I'm on Twitter. I was like, yo, I remember I tweeted this. Yo, and I met Ebro, and I was so fucked up. He replies, yeah, you were, fam. You good?
Wow, that's crazy.
So that was so that was the kind of like the start of
He actually had Scotty Beam next to him too.
Yeah, I remember
because he introduced Scotty Beam to us as well.
I remember.
That moment. Yeah.
At least he remembered you.
Shouts to Scotty Beam.
Well, you definitely link up again.
So, long story short, you know what I'm saying, like with the blogging and all that. It just cultivated me from, like I said, going to events, being a facilitator for certain events, being a kind of hand in other events or whatnot. Mike saw something in me that a lot of people didn't see, and like he
Did
said,
you see it in yourself?
It's hard
Did
to
Mike
it's hard
bring it
it's
to
hard
life?
to hard to look on the outside in. So I'm still working a full-time job at this point. I'm still trying to do the hustle bustle in New York City, and at the same time, like I say that to say this: people get fooled by social media, man. Like,
every
you know
day.
what I'm saying? Like,
Every day.
people believe this fantasy land of like, this guy dressed the best, so he's like, he gets mega money, or this guy travels a lot, so he must have a budget of $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And this guy's a rapper and he had this song on iTunes, so he must be going on tour. Things don't work out like that.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
Not even close sometimes.
My social media looks very nice, but there's always a good and a bad day. There's always a good week and a bad week. There's always times where it's like I don't post, and I go through grown man things just like anybody else. And I would like to say that, luckily for me, I got a great support system behind me, whether it's, my mom's or my family or whoever, you know what I'm saying? And, Mike was one of those people. So, a lot of the conversations we had at night was just him, or myself just trying to figure things out and how we could be a benefit of each other towards the future. But we didn't know where that was coming. Now, I will say that Mike has a lot of ideas. A lot that I didn't agree with at the time, and I'm just like...
Which happens when you're working with somebody.
Yeah, man, we need to do a college tour and this, that, and the third. I'm like, man, college radio doesn't even exist anymore. Like, I'm in tune to the culture, so I'm just like, he's shooting out these ideas, and I'm just like, nah, man, this ain't gonna work because I know the numbers behind it. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't deter him; it kept him going. So, I get a call another week. And
all that shit stopped.
Yeah.
Which is good. It was a good trait to have, especially in this field.
So I would get another call, and I would get another call, and I would get another call. So, it got to a point where I will say that to say this. That's a nice plug. So anyway, so I was on Twitter one night, and I literally seen this DJ, and it was like, yo, they made a playlist and they shared it on Twitter. And I was like, oh, shit, you could do that? Oh, man, I'm going to fuck them up.
Well, where did they share it from? Where did they, like, it was through, one of the platforms?
It was through Apple Music.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So it was recently?
No, it was a couple years ago.
Really?
Now, mind you, Apple Music has been around, like, I even thought about it like, damn, like, I've had these streaming apps for a couple years now. Like, it's funny. I got a call last night, and one of my friends was like, "Yo, man, I know you got that Jay-Z. I need that Jay-Z album, man, because I'm cheap, man. I just don't want to buy it." I said, "Bro, I haven't downloaded an album in like 4 years."
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, why can't you spend $10 on a streaming app for unlimited music?"
And you can't bootleg Hove. You can't do that.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
sacrilegious.
And I'm just saying, but these are people I still talk to.
Okay,
so you know what I mean. So this is their mindset. They was just like, yo, like I don't want to pay for it. I'd rather like,
going against the message.
And I'll be honest with you, like,
it's like, yo, did you ever go to a record shop to buy an
right,
album?
and I was a big downloader of music. I downloaded.
Shout out to the Napster days.
Word, shout out to LimeWire, fucking up my computer.
Man, I mean,
that ass.
Not even like it was at a point where you could just Google it and share Beast and
YouTube to MP3, all that.
Yeah, and it was some other sites that I won't mention because I know they got FBI people watching them and all that. But
don't pull the podcast. I used to take everything else.
Yeah, I definitely used to get like rips of like exclusives and with the iTunes versions with the videos and stuff. Like, yo, iTunes, stop blocking your old albums so I can see the videos with it, like, or the bonus tracks. Like, y'all tripping with that. But anyway,
I was also just talking to a guy here. This was a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He passed me. He was like, "Yo, man, check out my CD." And I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck am I gonna do with a CD?" I made an Instagram post about it at King Bo Christ on IG. But I made an Instagram post about it, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I going to do with a CD? Like, for real, when was the last time you saw a CD? So when somebody's like, yo, man, burn me a copy of, like, how? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Like, I need that 444. Like, how? I don't even have it. Like, I'm just using Apple shit.
Right.
But so back to your playlist.
Yeah, so like I said, late night I was on Twitter, and it's, again, 3 to 5 in the morning to me is the best time. It's quiet, is you in your thoughts, and you could just. I used to kill the Twitter rants, how I felt about people, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like Facebook, you get judged and all that, but Twitter, you could just go in. So I seen a playlist, and a DJ friend of mine, I'm gonna let that person be nameless as well. I'm not going to go into that. It's about us, about me and Mike right now. Sounds of Vibes. That's what we doing. So no shout out for them. So
I'm about to say, Dan, because we done shout out a couple of people.
Nah,
he's like, nah, that's it.
No, that's it. That's the cap.
No. We shout out people that matter. They don't matter. So
damn, no old DJs matter.
Nah. So
we're gonna ask you off the radar.
Yeah,
I gotta keep writing down who. Yeah. I'm like, who was that you was talking about?
Yeah, I see him right now. He's like, I want to know who is this? Who is that? So
who should I not fuck with?
Yeah, I ain't even get to these girls. All right. Well, anyway, so anyway, so I go listen to the playlist, and I'm like, yo, it's too long. No, one thing I said was, it was an R&B playlist, by the way. I was like, yo, these are a lot of songs I haven't heard in a long time, but I was like, man, the order's out of whack. That's the first thing I said. And then I was like, 2, I was like, man, I could do this. I'm like, I did this. Like, people that know me from Rochester, like I always did mix CDs. I did mix tapes, as far as like cassette tapes and things like that. I would dub them and all that. I've been doing this. Like, I can't sing, ladies. I can't sing.
We got the compressor on. You can sing. It's all the same.
Nah, I don't want no reverb on my voice. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no reverb on my note. You know what I'm saying? No echoes, no nothing. But the one thing I would say is that the gift I would give to the ladies is the gift of song. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I would give them a CD like, yo, I thought about you. I gave you this. And
oh, wow.
Genius.
Yeah,
that's fucking genius.
So it was tailored to just that one individual. So she's like, oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's fucking genius. Like, I'm thinking about it like, damn, you know what?
And this has been happening since the early 2000s. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
so you used to make the A-side, B-side tape and put a name on it. Like, here you go. This for you.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing
this man
the roses,
was ahead of his time.
Instead of bringing the roses and the flowers with the chocolate.
Yeah.
All that stupid shit.
He bought you the Jodeci straight up.
I mean, hey, one thing my mom taught me is be original, man. Be original, be yourself. So it's like, I bought roses before, but they wilted. Or I bought chocolate, and y'all ate it, and y'all got fat. So it was like, yo, I'm going to give you the gift of song. You know what I mean?
I follow your joke.
You know
That's fucking genius. Let me write that down. I got to put that in
the gift of song. The gift of song.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
I do that, because that's like genius, but I'll send my wife something like, here, listen to this song. You know what I mean? And she'll be like, oh, wow, that was crazy. You know what I mean? But to curate a playlist for somebody, you were 10, 15 years ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know what you were sitting on.
And then at this point, it wasn't even called playlist. So it was like, yo, I'm making a mix CD.
Mixtape, right.
Yeah, mix CD, mixtape or whatever. And then they listened to it and they was just like, how did you find these songs? I never heard this before. And I'm just like, it's just for you, girl. It's just for you. You know what I mean? Hit them with that. You can put the reverb on that. My soft, sultry voice. This for you. So then, I'm getting feedback from that. Obviously, I got the panties. And,
what you mean? You had the panties in your hand, or you dropped the
drugs? Sometimes it be on the 2 fingers, but that's another story. I say that to say this. It started me being creative as far as like play, like in at this point, back then I would make playlists everywhere, like the on the go. You remember the old iPhone, the 4S's or whatever? You make the on the go playlist
when you scrolling like. Those iPhones, that's
and then
crazy.
you make the quick playlist or whatever. I'll be on a bus ride or whatever. So that started from that. Going back to the Twitter days when I'm like, yo, you can do this. I said, oh man, I'm about to fuck this up. So, I made a couple playlists, and then at one point it got Mike's attention because I'm making playlists and I'm just going with what I know. I'm like, I'm putting this out, and then it gets Mike's attention. He's like, yo, do you hear what you just put out? I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments on your post, and they loving it, bro. And I'm just like, yeah, it's just something I put out, whatever. He's like, nah, man, stop that. Read the comments. And at this point, I had to read the comments because he's right on the phone or whatever. So I'm reading the comments. I'm like, yeah, maybe it is something to that. He was like, now listen to your playlist. And a lot of times I make it, but I listen to it before I put it out, but I don't listen to it afterwards. So I listened to it and I said, damn, this shit, all right. It sounds pretty good. So at this point, now I'm making more playlists, and I'm traveling. So I'm going to other places. I'm meeting people, and I'm meeting people where, you get the website's still out at this time. So you get a demographic of where people are going to your website. So Georgia was a big supporter. LA was a big supporter. Chicago, Louisiana, like these states or whatever. So I'm going to these different states and I'm meeting people, and I'm meeting people that support the site, and they were saying like, yo, like, man, I love the site, this, that, and the third. And I'm getting more and more attention off of that. So I'm like, yo, I'm here, Atlanta, this, that, and the third. So it's create more promotion. And I'm kind of like just facilitating, doing what I'm doing, trying to shake hands and things of that nature. And little do I know, I'm doing exactly what Khaled's doing. I'm doing exactly what Ross is doing. I'm doing exactly what Diddy's doing. And I only say that to say this, that these are the three people I look on Snapchat every day. As far as like how they carry themselves, how they do their brands, and how they kind of like apply themselves as far as like business. So
So your playlist, that's what a DJ does. A DJ
right
sets the tone. Like, real DJ, I'm not talking to you motherfuckers that just went and got MacBook Pros and plug your shit in the back of the club. The real DJs, like, do it custom playlists like you got, can feel the tone of the party. You know what I mean? They're like, hold on, all right, we losing them, give them this, boom, bring it back up. Or it's getting too crazy in here, boom, bring them down. So, like, the playlist, I think, is like DJing 2.0. You know what I mean? So now you could have that for a car ride. You know what I mean? Or you could meet a person like, you know what? I want to tell you how I feel about you. I can't get the words. Here's the music.
Right.
So I think that's a great thing that you could just take it on the go. So now you don't have to go to a club to hear the hottest shit. You know what I mean? You go to things Greg sees. You know what I'm saying? And
click on the
you
link
get it there.
Press play.
Yeah, well, you can't go to things Greg sees anymore, but we're gonna get to that. But so continuing that, I'm hearing the playlist and I'm getting back to Mike and I'm like, yo, like, you're right. There's a buzz around it. And he was like, well, how can I find out about the numbers? And I used to do these short links, so I've had analytics right then and there. And it wasn't until we put out this one. Well, I'm skipping it. I'm going a little forward a little bit. Even before that, he was like, yo, he still was trying to do these like club events and things. He was like, yo, who's the hottest rapper? I think Young M.A. was the hottest rapper at the time. He was like, yo, we should book her, Dave East, do like a little club event. I'm like, man, I don't know. Their price tag went up, you know what I mean? Right. On the double XL freshman cover and things of that nature. He's like, man, let's do it. I'm like, nigga, you crazy. So in the midst of trying to create something, whatever, and it dawned on me, I'm like, bro, a playlist party. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, now explain. I said, nah, the playlist, they getting to a point where, and
this is last year.
This is last year, like around this time, like August. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's not even around this time where, we're on number 2. like last year around this time, and I think we wanted to try to put it out like towards September, but the only thing with that was like we didn't know how we wanted to curate it. One. Two, I think we had a lot of hands in the pot. You know what I'm saying? And as far as reaching out to certain people that didn't feel the vision like how we felt it. You know? Gotcha. So I think within that time it kind of like dissolved and we had to figure things out for ourselves. But
which is good. You know, sometimes you gotta at least you get out on the front end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So originally, for the people, Sounds and Vibes wasn't really even created up until this year. But it started, the brand started last year. You know what I'm saying? I will say that.
The Vibrations was out there months ago.
No, it was out there, but it was just like how, because I remember at this time, like, I was messing with a girl, and I was just like, yo, I'm gonna make this playlist party. You gonna come? She was like, yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come to anything you do, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, the booty on her, man. Woo. Anywho, I say that to say this. She comes to the next Sound and Vibe, but we can clap for that. We can clap for that one. We can clap for that. We can clap for that.
Come on, but who you talking about? You gonna put a name out
there? Yeah, see, I wasn't gonna write that one down.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you that off air too. She don't want a shout out, so I ain't gonna give her one. And then, but I only say that because she was like one of the first people I told, as opposed to Mike, and I'm like, they don't have parties like this. You go to different events, and she was an event person, so we was going to different events, whether it was like pajama parties, sleepovers type things, or just regular day parties and all that. And then, like I said, New York is real competitive when it comes to, having events. And the one thing that I noticed is that I'm an avid event person. So, right. I get invited to a lot, and I know a lot of people within my network. And one thing I did notice is that either it's a gimmick, it's a gimmick bringing you out, or it's a part of like some type of network that you want to be a part of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The fun factor is like at a 2. And, the gimmick is at an 8. And, the network is like, oh, I want to be around them because they have fun. Right.
True. Like Henny Palooza is...
I don't want to get, like I said.
Did I strike a nerve with Henny Palooza?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're good friends, so I don't want to really like pick on any type of events in particular.
No, I mean, I feel like it's networking at that point with Henny Palooza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, I don't think it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
Niggas love Henny. Like, you know what I mean? That's not a gimmick. That's realistic.
No, I just don't, like I said, I just don't want to be affiliated with kind of like bashing any particular event.
Yeah, I got you.
I was just saying, like, me going to events in general, and like I said, shouts to them, because like I said, me and Cam are really close, and like, he's one of the ones that gave me a lot of advice to even start Sounds and Vibes. So, but I will say, like, a lot of events piggybacked off each other and then didn't become fun anymore. Just like the club, just like what we was talking about off air, like the club isn't necessarily fun. It's a job. You go there, you spend money.
It's a job, it's a scene.
Yeah. You go there, you spend money, you talk to girls that's really not interested in you, and then you go home. I mean, hopefully you go home with a girl, but if you're not, it's like, damn, you go home with that card.
Ready to call Bank of America and tell them you wasn't that.
Yeah,
that wasn't me. I need a new card.
That card's red hot because you swiped it so much.
I think the club scene changed also because from my standpoint, like, I'm like, bro, I know you. That it was 80 out on that fucking bottle. You know what I mean? Mm. Like, the person. So now when I see it on the gram, I'm like, it changed a little bit. Like, I know everybody's phone's in the air, but I'm like, you've been holding that same drink all night. You know what I mean? So for me, it changed. But what I like is if I know you and you're throwing a party, like Sounds and Vibes. What is it? August 12th, right?
Yeah,
that's my
August 12th, baby.
Yeah. That's my birthday. So.
You in the building there?
Oh, that's.
Hey, I'll be more than welcome.
That's on your birthday.
August 12th is my birthday. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
So I didn't even know what day it was until I saw the flyer. I'm like, oh shit, what day is that? And I was like, oh, it's on a Saturday. All right, that may be a go.
Okay.
Did you have prior plans?
No, I don't make plans for my birthday.
Gotcha.
My birthday, I usually don't
Thank
do
you.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I usually,
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. Like I'll go out on a Tuesday if you want to go. So my birthday,
Okay.
I never really.
Okay.
I mean, I know what I'm doing this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm over there definitely.
Okay.
On
But
that.
we appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're gonna have a great time.
That's what I was gonna say. When I see things like that with people, I'm like, okay, I know the music is gonna be right. I don't really go for the crowd. I go for that atmosphere. Like I go for good energy.
We'll get into that
But
right now.
that man,
We'll get
when
into
you
that right now.
speaking on that atmosphere, it was
Yeah, go ahead, please.
that it was just like being that we're gonna lead into it. It was just everything was just like one of those. How can I say it? Like, damn,
Be careful with the candy. They hear that on the.
Palm me.
If you got headphones in, they were like, oh.
Oh yeah, nah, got you. I'll take over.
No, go ahead.
No. I just want to say it was like you said. You going in, you going for the feel, and that's exactly what was in this small space. I don't even know how many square feet it is or whatever. I don't got it off the top of my head. But it was definitely that vibe. Like you came in and it wasn't something like a scene that you were getting. You get what I'm saying? You was just like.
How did it feel to see that, knowing that was your party that you put together? Like, were you sitting up there?
I mean,
Like
I
Ace
still
from
got
Cave
to intro that. So going into that, like I said, we were making this event, and and I'm like, yo, we gotta make a playlist party. It wasn't up until we made a particular playlist. It was 90s girl groups. Girl groups in the 90s.
Escape Total.
Till this day, that's my highest streamed downloaded playlist.
Really?
Till this day.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And somebody suggested it. I remember I was like, the whole month of March, each week, I'm gonna take suggestions. Just tell me what you want to playlist and I'm gonna make it. So people was making playlists and this girl was like, yo, shouts to Rosalind Mosley. That was your suggested playlist. I'm always gonna give you a shout out for that. You created it. I just was the facilitator of that, so thank you. She was like, yo, can
She
you
get the shout out?
Yeah, something positive. She deserves a shout out.
Yeah, I see how you moving. Like,
That's how I move, brother. That's how I move. You can out me or whatever, but I'm gonna get hate. Yo, at this point, like I said, things change, man. Like,
no doubt.
You gonna get hate or love. Like, love always over compensates hate. So
every
it's like,
time.
so we gonna be on love at this point. We not bashing nobody.
So Rosalind gave you the playlist.
Yeah, she made the suggestion. I still had to put it together. But when I did, I don't even think we knew it was going to be blown up to that point. And like I said, it was at this point we're still on Apple Music. Now we're on Apple Music and Tidal. So
Tidal is big.
Yeah. So because we recognize, there's a number of people that don't like to switch over. There's people that just stay on Facebook. They don't go on Instagram.
Right.
There's people go on Instagram. They don't go on Facebook. So it's like,
same concept.
Yeah. So as a blogger, I recognize that. I'm like, yo, I got to be everywhere. That's my job to at least be everywhere to make sure everybody's getting their fair share of deal. Like it can't be things Greg sees and I only see from one side.
Right.
I got to see from all over.
You got to have the real vision.
Right. So we put that out, and at this point, I'm like, Mike, I think we got to make an event for the people, man, because at this point they have to hear the playlist live. So it was only supposed to be like a live showing of our playlist. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, man, I like that. Or, you know what I mean? I'll let you tell him your thoughts.
No, I mean, it's just like how you said it. A lot of this is through communication, like, just general convos. And like you said, he was like, but before that, it was just, was it September? Last September? When he was like, yo, the playlist party, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
when it was still coined as the playlist party.
Right. So it's like, you want to do that? And I think we spoke, we had a conversation. Kurt was around with the conversation. It was just like, yo, this could be something. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And like he said, it really didn't follow through right there at the current moment. But
yeah,
when off the feedback and leading now into like what he was just saying it back in March of this year is like he was like, yo, it's time. And I'm like, it's time? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, we gonna do this.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was just like, all right, so how do we go about this? And then that's when the, logistics and the planning kind of came into life.
It's hard. It's hard when you try to put out an event in New York City during the wintertime too. Like holidays and winter times. Unless you're already established, somebody out the gate isn't going to put a like an event out in November or December because you're thinking about shopping, you're thinking about, you know what I mean, your essentials, you're thinking about the hibernation process. Like, you're not, do I really want to spend money on this or do I want to get my kid a toy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, gotcha. So that's my mindset. I'm thinking within the people. And like I said, I go to a lot of events sometimes. I've been at events when I was dead broke, but I wanted to support. So I came to the event. Not necessarily having money to spend on multiple drinks, but I got a little sip up before I got there, so I felt like I was right at home. So going into what formed Sounds and Vibes, it was like, man, we got to kind of curate an event for the people that really support us. And, I know these people aren't rich. I know these people, they might go to a lot of events. They might not even know what an event is. Because this isn't a day party, it's a listening event. I want to be kind of crystal clear on that. And, I think we came up with the groundwork of something that was a great base of what Sounds and Vibes is. Even going to the name, like, I remember I said at one point, I was just like, man, Mike, what's the name?
Word. That was one of those, I was like, yo, Greg, I'm kind of like question mark all over my mind with it. Like, I can't even think of anything at the moment.
I said, nah, bro. Sounds and Vibes.
Yo,
he said, Sounds and Vibes? I'm like, Sounds and Vibes. I felt it. Because I remember I told another friend of mine, I was like, yo, Sounds and Vibes. She was like, man, that sounds like a West Indian party. I'm like, what? What do you mean?
People gonna have different perspectives on things.
Okay, true.
She was like, why don't you just call it Playlist Party? I'm like, oh my God.
That was so generic. Like,
yeah. And then somebody that tries to take our idea calls it Playlist Party. Like, but
even with the artwork you used, it just fits.
Shouts to you though.
With is it like the blue and purple, whatever artwork that is.
Oh, that's the homie Big Leak, man.
Yeah,
shout out to
I'm not going to take credit on that at all.
But it just fits. Like when you click, I'm like, God damn, that just this whole shit just is one big vibe.
So it's so crazy.
I appreciate you for that.
No, that's real.
It's so crazy because we was like, all right, so he hit me with this was like a course of a couple of days, right, Greg? It was just like, all right, what we gonna name it?
I want to tell you, like, people don't really understand the background of how the first event and how everything kind of formed, but it was super quick. Yeah. And things like that doesn't happen. I just want to say that. Like, people usually take months on planning everything.
I'm big on...
The brain was there, but as far as the details, super quick.
Yeah, because I'm big on let's sit down, let's plan this, and, give it a time frame, but... It was just, like he said, it was, we put that together in a matter of a month. It was just
that's hard.
It was boom.
I have never thrown a party. I can tell you.
And another, what's even crazy is that we didn't have time to sit, like, you see how we sitting here in the studio right now?
Yeah, we didn't have
that time.
We didn't sit down at all.
Because I'm at work, I'm doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm a father, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm big on the family thing. Also, shout out to my baby boy, Dylan.
Yeah.
But he's working. Our schedules don't, they conflict. So it was just like effective communication.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, you gonna do this. You're gonna reach out to that person. I'm gonna bust this move. He gonna bust that move. And it was just like that. Boom, 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 boom.
When I show you the amount of texts, FaceTimes, emails, all that type of stuff that we did during the course of time, like, he was like, the T-Mobile, they had the top 5. he was like number 1. You
That's
know what
crazy.
I'm saying? Like, other than my mom and maybe like a couple other people. Like he was like right there. He's getting calls every day. Like I'm bothering him. He's bothering me. He's waking me up. Oh, what's going on? Like, yo, what we gonna do about this? I'm like, all right, cool. Get back to him. What we gonna do about that? So, we went from the name to, like I said, I can't take credit on the logo because I was like, yo, he literally like made it up and made it, he facilitated that to the designer.
Because it was like, I thought about this sign, in the bodegas or the stores, you what you call that, the neon?
Yeah, the neon light.
What's the name for it? The neon lights?
Neon,
right.
I know what you're talking about.
And it was just, my mind, the way it works is crazy. So, and then, I don't know if you guys ever hear the coming off the neon. So it was just one of those like, this is what's happening. It's coming on. It's turning on. It's coming together. So I was like, yo, Greg, what about this? Did you really see it right then and there until I said, well, let me go holler?
I was liking the idea, but it was like me, I'm so visual. I'm like, yo, put it together so I can see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I was like, I trust you, but at the same time, like, just do it so I can, you know what I mean? Because I'm at like he said, as far as our schedules, I'm so like in and out. He might think like, man, I'm trying to blow him off, but it's like, nah, I trust you. Do it.
Right.
So then we can talk about it if we need to make changes or whatnot.
So yeah, I hollered at the homie Leak, gave him the vision on that, and he was like, I got you or whatever. Set that up, and then the end result was just like. And the brick, it was just a brick background on, because we haven't exposed that yet. Mm-hmm. But it was the sounds and vibes on a brick background. So it was just like sent it over, and I got it. I was like, all right, I like this. I sent it over to Greg, and he liked it, and it was just like, all right, it's a go. So we knew that the way Leak put this together. It's just like, all right, that's the logo. That's going to be the symbol. And then from there, it was just like everything else, putting it together.
Nah, literally everything else. Like from the DJs, from
shout out to the homie Blue.
So who's DJing this?
Also shout out to DJ Miss Milan, who headlined the last Sounds and Vibes. Thank you. Who's headlining this is... Well, getting to the second one, it was a lot more work, obviously, put into this one. We was kind of quiet from the last one. The last one was in April 29th. From that time till then, I had a chance to go to, I went to Atlanta, and I also went to LA because I was kind of looking at possible spots of trying to do some work out there and just getting some feedback from people. And it was just like... The thing about the internet is when they recognize you, they recognize what you do. So,
very true.
So it was like, yo, when are you bringing this out here? And it's just like, we were still kind of within the motions, getting the numbers back, hearing the feedback from the people that was there.
It was crazy. Greg.
A lot of positive.
Yeah, always positive. But a lot of people was like, "Yo, when is the next?" It's like they wanted it right then and there.
They wanted it like tomorrow, and it was just like, man, at this point, we're still waiting for the money to get deposited back to the bank. So it was like,
that's a fact.
So it was like, I don't know how Mike is personally, but I know me. Like, I hear the positive, but I focus on the negative. So it was like, it was eating me up inside because it was like, I wanted to know what was everybody's negative so that it wouldn't be negative anymore.
See, see, with me, it's like, all right, it's going to be negative and it's going to be positive. So you gotta get the equilibrium and you gotta keep it moving. So like he said, it was a lot of things that he's, the negative, it kind of like, he put more, not the emphasis, but it was just like, all right, how we going to clean this up in a sense. Right. But as we know, we not perfect people. We don't live in a perfect world. So it's just like, it's gonna be some things that we could tighten up on or, tweak here and there. But that was that. And like he said, we here August 12th. We at it again.
Who's DJing?
Give him the lineup, Greg.
Cool.
Of course, we got the home team. DJ Blue, he's along with the sounds and vibes as far as like the house DJ.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And Greg has all to do with the DJ selections, and it's more of like what you said, Bo. It's not just getting a laptop and all these other devices. You know what I'm saying?
Who's gonna
and just
feel the crowd?
push it. It's how we gonna synchronize the playlist, right? Because we connecting it. We connecting music with with the people. So it's like, what DJs are gonna deliver the the notions of the playlist that dropped. So we put out names. And it's just like, all right. Greg was like, yo, I was at this event and such, because we, it's a lot of DJs we done mention or whatever. And he just started clicking with them, and I guess he'll tell you how he came along with.
Yeah, shouts to Instagram, man. They wanted me to go live, so
shit.
No doubt.
I had to make sure.
IG, what's going on?
You know what I'm saying? Make sure.
Yo, you already know, man.
But getting back to, all right, I'm gonna just stop this because.
Nah, you can keep it live. It don't matter to me.
Yeah.
We roll it.
Okay, cool. So as far as like the bookings, like you said, like I handle a lot of the bookings and whatnot. What the last event was kind of focused on was primarily the focus of our most popular playlist was the 90s girl group. So we kind of made it a 90s, 2000s party. We took it back for a lot of people that, to me, it was the best time to party. You know what I mean? Like the best time to be in the clubs, the best time to dance. You didn't worry about too much violence. You didn't, you had all these dances out with the reggae and all that stuff. And, it was just a happier time. I'm not saying that times aren't happy now, but it's a lot of like I said.
There's a lot of distortion right now.
Clubs, it became a job. It became work as far as like trying to enjoy yourself. So now, we wanted to bring that focus to just enjoying yourself.
Real quick with the DJs,
Yeah.
since it's on my mind,
Yeah.
and it's it's new.
Yeah.
Swizz Beats challenged Timberland to the battle.
I woke up to that. I was like, wow. But the funny thing is, I would rather prefer the Neptunes go at it
with Swizz?
Timbo. No, with Timbo.
Yeah.
But going back to
That's tough. I'd have to think on it, but I can't say who I'd rather see.
Right.
Until you start hearing beats and you're like, oh shit, I forgot about that. So I don't want to, but I think I agree with you.
Okay.
But I don't think Pharrell was trying to come out of the bag. I don't know. I don't know what was up with that, Pharrell. But but I love that Swizz Beats is doing this. I love that he called, what was that? It was years ago. Him and Kanye West did that on the Summer Jam stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that he's doing that, and he's really making people like step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no more just sitting in the background and doing what you do. Like, are you nice? Are you coming with your craft? What's up?
Right.
So this, I don't know when it's going to be. Obviously, it was just announced this morning.
Yep.
This is going to be big.
Yeah, I literally woke up to that. I was just like, you reach for your phone and you look, and I'm just like, oh shit. My cousin, we got a group chat on IG, and he sent the link over, and I was like, wow. And the first thing I did was, I was like, yo, let me go over to Greg page.
Yeah, word. That's crazy.
Because
he
it's like
the Timberland video.
Yeah, he already had it on.
Oh, he already had it. Like when I went to look, by the time I looked, it was like 6 posts down. I was like, God damn, who told him? Like, yeah, you had it. That's crazy. Who do you think right now? Right now, like off the top of my head, I think I gotta go with Swizz.
See, it depends on how the beat battle is structured. If it's based on like what they did and what songs.
But they already did that Swizz already did that on the last battle. So it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did that with Just Blaze,
right?
Yeah. So that's my question in my mind.
Legitimately, Swizz had better songs. But Timberland has better songs than Swizz. So I mean,
that's why I think if you go songs again, this is
if it's structured that way, then I gotta go to Timberland. But if it's structured more so, because I know they can scratch.
But you just go Timberland off the top?
I do go Timberland. He's a better DJ. He's a better DJ.
I think, but with all that DMX, I think when you start bringing that up, even if you can't really scratch, to me personally, it sets the tone like it would have.
I don't know, man.
Also,
this
the
man,
energy,
this man
'cause-
Timberland beat pattern is just like unmatched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
this is gonna be a tough
I
one.
think
You
that's
get
just gonna be crazy.
you give me a mix
This is
between
like
more than a
something crazy.
woman / 1 in a million. Flames.
Right there's over.
I'm just saying.
It was just
like,
announced. There's no date. There's no time.
No. It's probably gonna be, it's probably
this
gonna be random.
Yeah,
but,
like
you know
how
what
they
I'm
did it
saying?
last.
Yeah.
What happened on live? They just went live. Like
They just went live.
Yeah, I thought so because I didn't hear anything. Never knew.
No, well, they couldn't get any sponsors behind that, so they just figured that they just do it like guerrilla style. You know what
I guess you give them. The first one's free.
Yeah.
Like this is. I know Swizz Beats is involved with a lot of liquor companies.
Right.
So right now they probably gonna have that Bacardi 8 or whatever that shit is. He's plugging all the time.
Yeah, he actually hold a big position in Bacardi. So
Yeah.
Yeah, back to Sounds and Vibes though.
Yo, hit him with the DJ lineup,
Yeah,
man.
please.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The suspense has been built.
So we got DJ Blue, our house DJ, of course. DJ Fab Rock, somebody that I, personally know, and we've been in parties together for a while. So, naturally asking her was kind of like an organic thing. She's really good as far as like what's in now. She also has a great like old school lineup. So I wanted to, this time around, as opposed to the last one, I wanted to get different DJs to showcase different talents.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, Blue is versatile. So he can just do what he does depending on what kind of crowd that we kind of bring. But I also didn't want to overwork any DJ. So each DJ has a 2 hours time slot. Fab Rock.
And was 3 to 10?
2 to 10.
2 to 10. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like the last one was 4 to 9. We just wanted to kind of see what we can do. Mm-hmm. Now we know what we can do.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So, with that is that, like I said, as I kind of formed this in my head, I was like, yo, I want each DJ. I wanted to make a legitimate party.
Yeah.
So, Fab Rock, like I said, she could do old school or she can kind of do a new progressive. I kind of want her to kind of focus on the old school, kind of take it back a little bit. The DJ following her, DJ Sydney Love, great as far as Afrobeat, soca, reggae. That was a big complaint that we had for the last one. It was like it was not enough focus on that. So
I don't listen to that shit. I mean, I get it. You need it for the party. You need that component. But that's usually when I phase out of the party. I don't know what happens.
It's New York, bro.
I get it. Trust me, it's gotta be played.
Especially with the ladies and all that. You're not gonna escape it. And like I said, me personally, I'm a big Afrobeat fan as opposed to reggae. I was a big dancehall fan, like I said, in the late 2000s when it was like jumping like that.
Right.
But dancehall has went all kinds of ways where I can't keep up. Afrobeat to me is just fun, poppy. You dance, and I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
gonna make you move.
It definitely gets the ladies
Speaking
moving.
of which,
Definitely.
Sounds and Vibes Afrobeat playlist will be released later on today after this podcast. Not right after, but a little bit after. So just be patient with
Go
us.
check for that. Definitely.
Wait on that.
On iTunes and Tidal.
Yes, via Apple Music and Tidal. Yes. So like I said, we got Sydney Love, Fab Rock, DJ Blue, and then of course the headliner DJ Enough, who personally told us
Enough. That's legendary.
Yeah, big Spanish.
Yo, shout out to Enough and
that's crazy.
Yo, Greg, man.
I
that was
bumped
all
into
Greg's
DJ
doing
Enough
right there.
in DR. This was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting across from him. I'm like, I know this fucking guy. But he was like, there was like 40 deep, the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know him. And I'm like, nah, couldn't be. I'm like, that's him. But I'm like, what the fuck's the chances of that?
Mm-hmm.
And it was him. So that's big.
You
Big.
didn't actually get a chance to speak to him?
I chopped it up for 2 seconds. Like I was like, "Oh, what's going on, man?" And he was on vacation, and I was like 95% sure that was him. But I'm like, what's the fucking chances of him? He was sitting like this. He was eating, and I was eating. I look over, and I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So it was 2 seconds. I didn't take a picture or anything with him. Which, if I looking back, I probably would have, but it caught me off guard. And I know he's on vacation. They were doing what they do, but
so we gotta make something happen for your birthday this year, then.
Oh man, that's legendary. Like, I think that's definitely that's a heavy hitter. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
that's a good headline.
Definitely shout outs to DJ Enough, man. He's been kind of like mentoring, teaching me. And I don't have mentors. I'll be honest with you. I'm not somebody that grew up that had been idolizing. I admire a lot of people. I don't idolize people, but he's definitely been kind of like giving me a lot of gems along the way as far as like how structuring this and as well as Mike. Like, you know what I mean? Just definitely just put me on to a lot of gems that the rollout with this is way different from the rollout of the last one. Like a lot of people have been complimenting us so far, how clean, the website is as far as like the ticket link, how easy it is, easy to navigate. Everything's detailed. Everything's more visual. The video, everything's been kind of like so far so good to the point where, like I said, our free tickets sold out in 2 hours, like just like that. So,
and to be honest, it's like I'm not gonna give you the number of tickets that sold out, but I would just say this. Because we're small, but it's over 50. So and it's like it's one of those.
It's gonna be a line.
Yeah, it's one of those like don't.
Nah, we're not trying to make no lines. Don't do
no line.
Nah, just because we try to get people in and out, man. Like that, we just.
And I just want to say, like, there's no gimmick. Don't hesitate. Yo, you see what's out there. You see what we doing.
Yeah.
Come vibe with us. This is New York City.
Yeah.
Stop the nonsense. Stop the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yo, cop your ticket because it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Let them know where to grab the tickets.
I will say that first, man. Don't hit us up for free tickets, man. That's like super annoying. And like I'm not gonna.
I mean,
nah, seriously, because we gave away for free a lot of tickets just for you to come join with us.
Right.
So. That doesn't mean we won't give out or have giveaways or contests or things like that between now until the 12th, August 12th. But don't just be in my inbox. Don't hit him up. Don't hit
that's
people
gonna happen,
that's close.
Though. Like
no.
For some reason,
no. I'm trying to like do a nice disclaimer because I like to hurt people's feelings and I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Savage,
you know what I'm saying? But it's like just have a little.
Pay for the goddamn tickets.
I'm just saying, because we really want y'all to have a good time, man. We really want everybody to be there, but at the same time, it's like we realize, like if you can get something for free, it'll be a benefit to you. But like, nah, man, like just support the cause, like because we're doing this from the kindness of our own hearts. Like the first one, we wanted to do it because we got so much appreciation. The second one is because everybody at the first one really appreciated it. So it was like, we want to give that same aspect to the people that missed it, to the people that seen it, to the people that looked at the snaps. I remember the next day I looked at snaps all day and I was like, man, this is the party that I put on. I'm sorry, that we put on.
No,
like, I'm not even, but I was alone in my bed, so I was like, I put on this. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, just have a little respect, man. That's all. Like,
I know you guys got to get out of here, but
nice.
I also noticed when I was talking about my podcast and I was asking people, like, yo, if they're like, I like your podcast. I'm like, all right, if you like it, share it. They're like, hold on, but can you share my music, my man's music? I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, God damn, one thing at a time, man. And I didn't want to sound like
they bombarding you.
Yeah, like I asked them, like, yo, if you said you like it, just share it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to sound like an asshole when they're like, oh, but can you put my man's music at the end of your podcast? And I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know what you mean. People, you give them an inch, they take a mile. So you tell them that
right.
There's tickets, and they're like, oh shit, I need one. You're like, you know what? I can hook you up. But actually, it's 4 more of my friends we trying to get into. And you're like, all right, bro, like, come on.
Yeah.
So
and like I said, man, I'm easy to talk to. Like it's real easy to talk to. Like like I said, if you talk to us and let us know, like there's plenty of people that we let rock in the last event just for the fact that we knew they was having a good time, they was supporting. I will say rules have got a little bit strict now, so that's why we got a little couple stipulations.
Can you young niggas wear their Timbs?
Timbs.
They can get in with Timbs.
Yeah. Yo,
We have no dress code.
Yeah,
No
there's
dress
no
code,
there's no
okay.
dress. Wear what you want to wear. I mean, don't be sloppy. Don't come with Crocs and roll out the
New
bed.
York City, though. You know what I'm saying?
you gotta have.
Don't
some
do
type
that
of-
to yourself. You're gonna show up in one of those memes and
Yeah,
shit.
you don't want to be on
looking
that.
crazy.
Yeah,
New York
we
niggas
we
be
make
like, you don't
memes.
wanna-
We make memes now. But I will say, just a couple ground rules or whatever. Just be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself. And, at the same time, like I said, if you can't make it, somebody else that can make it, just pass the word along. You know what
Definitely.
I'm saying? And if you got a question or concern, if you can't reach Mike on, social media or whatnot or direct, then reach me. Or if not, go to the email. It's soundsandvibes1@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? Any questions or concerns, we could take that. And, like I said, man, just rolling this out. We're learning. We're still learning. We're still in the learning stages, but at the same time, like,
Things looking good.
we're happy with the results so far, and we just appreciate all the support, all the love, because like I said, up until this point, we still work regular 9-to-5 jobs just like everybody else. We get up, we put our pants on one leg at a time,
Right.
and we plug away. So.
No doubt. And I appreciate you guys rolling out on the podcast.
Yo,
Greatly
man.
appreciate it.
That's love.
Shouts to you, bro.
Greg hit me,
Yeah.
yo, I got a podcast. I was like, what? What do you mean? Homie, he ain't say your name right then and there, but dude reached out to me or whatever, and I was like, all right, when?
Right.
Right.
So,
Bo,
and we
Bo,
here, and we
Bo.
didn't waste any
I
time, which
appreciate
is
it.
great.
I appreciate
No,
this.
we
man.
definitely
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
That's love.
So
man.
let them. We I just went over 7,000 listeners
Wow.
on iTunes.
Oh, we gotta
Nice.
get you to 10, man. 10,000.
That would be great.
We gotta get you to
Let's get to that milestone though.
the most.
What's that?
Let's get to that milestone.
Let's
Why
do
not?
it. And I'm glad you guys are here.
We gotta make this the most aired episode of his podcast.
That would be big.
So
And we definitely
let's
had
do that.
some good material. And this is not going to be the last time. We're definitely going to do this again. So let everybody know where to find you and where you want them to reach you, your Instagram or your Twitter or whatever it is you use.
Yeah, for the people, like I said, I go by my name is Primo, man. The streets know me as Primo, but my IG is @presented by .Mike MIKE. That's where you can catch me at.
And I'm gonna put all this in the show notes also
Okay.
for the slow people out there. Just want to click on shit. I got you. Don't worry.
Okay. So this YouTube, where iTunes?
It's gonna be on YouTube also. YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So cool. Like I'm definitely gonna be posting this everywhere. So
Oh yeah, I got me. I'm all over, but
Appreciate that.
you can reach out to me.
again,
at
shout
IG.
outs to the I say that to say this podcast. Shout outs to Bo. Yeah, man.
Let them know where to find you.
Yeah.
Definitely. My
Where do you want them to hit you at?
my
you all over
Well,
though.
Yeah,
things Greg sees everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Like my IG and my Twitter is @things Greg sees.
Nah,
Yeah, nah. TITH. See, you making
See,
me
you
mess
can't
up.
even get it together.
THINGS You know what I'm saying? That's at IG and Twitter. I got a Facebook page, Things Greg Sees. I'm just all over, man. But like I said, that'd be the best ways to hit me. Again, man, like I said, we thankful for the opportunity, and we want to do this again.
Shout out to the good people at Threshold Recording Studios.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Andrew,
Yes.
my man in there, our engineer
All right.
for today.
Definitely shout out to
I'm
Threshold.
gonna call Andrew A. Butter, man, because he said
works.
he had that. He said he had that honey for that tea I needed. I said, yo, that was clutch.
Thank you all for listening. As I always say, fuck what your horoscope says. Have a day you deserve. I'm out. Listeners, whatever you're listening on, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go rate this. So if you're in the iTunes store, go ahead. If you feel like I deserve 1 star, go for it. But if you enjoy what you heard, go ahead and give that 5 stars. And if you're on anything else, like this and share it with somebody who you think needs to hear it.